Hi, I'm Oakland. I've been a single mom since my son Tyler was 12, and I've always prided myself on the close relationship we built over the years. We were a team, me and him against the world. Mom, I got the promotion. First person they called this morning. That was Tyler 2 years ago, racing through my front door without knocking, just like he always did. Back then, he'd come over 3 times a week minimum. Sunday dinners were non-negotiable, and he'd often drop by randomly just to raid my fridge or watch a game with me. We should celebrate. I'm making your favorite lasagna tonight. Actually, I kinda made plans already. I met someone, Mom. That someone was Veronica. Tall, stunning, and always perfectly put together. From the moment I met her, something felt off. But Tyler looked at her like she hung the moon, so I smiled and welcomed her into our lives. The changes were subtle at first. Tyler started missing our Sunday dinners. Veronica wants to try this new restaurant, or Veronica's parents invited us over. I understood. Relationships require compromise. You never have time for family anymore, I said during one rare visit, trying to keep my tone light. That's not fair. I'm just busy with work and building a life with Veronica. My brother Mark noticed it too. That girl's got him wrapped around her finger. Have you seen how he checks his phone every 5 minutes when she texts? My best friend Diane tried to reassure me. All boys pull away a little when they find someone. He'll balance things out eventually. But he didn't. After they got married, Tyler became a stranger. The warm, thoughtful son who'd call me just to chat disappeared. When he did visit, Veronica was always there, watching, steering conversations. Did you notice how Veronica cut him off when he started talking about helping with your basement remodel? Mark asked after one particularly tense dinner. She practically dragged him out the door. She doesn't like me. Never has. Don't be ridiculous, Oakland. She's just protective of her relationship. But I knew. The snide comments disguised as concern. The eye rolls when she thought I wasn't looking. The way she'd forget to pass along my messages to Tyler. Then came the day that broke me. I'd texted Tyler about missing him, asking if we could have lunch, just the two of us. His response lit up my phone screen. Mom, I love you, but I need to be clear about something. If I have to choose between you and Veronica, I choose her. Every time. I'd rather lose my mother than lose my wife. Please stop trying to come between us. I dropped my phone like it had burned me. My hands were shaking so badly I couldn't even pick it back up when Diane called moments later. He said, "What? Oh, honey, I'm coming over right now." An hour later, Diane and Mark sat on either side of me on my couch as I sobbed. I don't understand. I never tried to come between them. I just wanted some time with my son. This isn't him talking, Mark said firmly. This is her words coming out of his mouth. What am I supposed to do now? I whispered, clutching the tissue Diane had pressed into my hand. For now, you breathe. Then tomorrow we figure out how to save Tyler from whatever spell she's cast on him. I nodded, but inside something had hardened. My son had made his choice, and for the first time, I wondered if I should make mine. 3 days after Tyler's message, I still hadn't left the house. My phone buzzed again. Diane checking on me for the third time that morning. I brought bagels and that fancy coffee you like. Open up, I know you're in there. I shuffled to the door in the same pajamas I'd been wearing since that awful text. You look like hell warmed over. Thanks for the update, Diane. I hadn't noticed. She set up breakfast while I slumped at the kitchen table, staring at my phone. Have you heard anything more from him? Radio silence. It's like he dropped off the planet. Mark arrived 20 minutes later with a folder tucked under his arm and a determined look on his face. Enough wallowing. I did some digging. What kind of digging? He spread several papers across my table. Remember Melissa from your book club? Turns out her cousin dated Veronica in college. This isn't her first rodeo isolating someone from their family. I scanned the papers, social media screenshots, old emails. Aaron was completely under her spell, Mark continued. Cut off his parents, friends, everyone. Then she drained his bank account and disappeared. That's horrible, but what does it have to do with Tyler? Look at the pattern. She finds guys with good careers and supportive families. She isolates them, then bleeds them dry. My phone rang unexpectedly. I nearly fell out of my chair seeing the name. James, I haven't heard from my ex in 3 years? Diane told me what happened with Tyler. I'm worried about him. Despite our rocky past, James had always been a good father. You should be. That woman is bad news. I ran into Tyler's colleague Kevin yesterday. Said Tyler's been asking for advances on his paycheck. When Kevin asked why, Tyler got defensive. Money problems? But he just got that promotion. Kevin overheard Veronica on the phone at some work event, talking about maxed out credit cards and hiding statements from Tyler. After James hung up, the three of us sat in stunned silence until Diane spoke up. We need to do something. This isn't just about her keeping him away from you anymore. What am I supposed to do? He made his choice crystal clear. Mark leaned forward. We gather evidence. Build a case. Make it impossible for him to ignore what she's doing. That evening, Melissa called with more information. Veronica's former roommate Rachel reached out after I asked around. She's willing to talk to you about what happened with other boyfriends. Apparently, there's a whole pattern. 2 days later, I sat in a coffee shop across from Rachel, a nervous-looking woman who kept glancing around as if Veronica might appear. She's calculated. She finds men with assets and support systems, then convinces them everyone's against her. By the time they realize what's happening, she's drained them emotionally and financially. And no one's ever called her out? People try. She's always one step ahead, spinning stories, making the other person look crazy. That night, I created a detailed timeline of Veronica's behavior, collecting statements from people who knew her past. I even documented every canceled plan and missed family events since she entered Tyler's life. When Mark called to check on me, he seemed surprised by my calm tone. You sound different, less devastated. I'm done being a doormat. If my son wants to throw away our relationship for someone who's using him, that's his choice. But I'll be damned if I don't make sure he knows exactly who he chose. What are you planning? Something Veronica won't see coming. She picked the wrong mother to mess with. The plan came together over the next week. Mark created a fake investment opportunity, something too good to be true but just plausible enough. You really think she'll bite? Diane asked as we finalized the details. People like Veronica can't resist easy money, especially when they're drowning in debt. James pulled some strings to get us the conference room at his law firm for our investment meeting. We invited several couples, including Tyler and Veronica, making it seem like an exclusive opportunity. What if Tyler recognizes what we're doing? I worried the night before. He's too deep in her fog, Mark said. Besides, you haven't spoken in weeks. He won't suspect you're behind this. The evening of the meeting, my stomach was in knots as I watched them walk in. Tyler looked tired, thinner than I remembered. Veronica was scanning the room, sizing everyone up. They sat across from me, but Tyler barely made eye contact. Thank you all for coming, James began his presentation about a new property development. This opportunity requires a minimum buy-in of $50,000. I watched Veronica's eyes light up as James described the potential returns. Meanwhile, Rachel quietly slipped in and sat in the back corner, our secret weapon. During a break, Mark approached Tyler at the refreshment table. Good to see you, man. It's been a while. Yeah, been busy with work and stuff. This investment looks solid. You guys thinking about getting in? I don't know, we're kind of tight right now. Are you kidding? We'd be stupid not to jump on this. Veronica appeared suddenly, latching onto Tyler's arm. We'll figure out the money. $50,000 is a lot to figure out, Tyler muttered. Don't be such a pessimist. Your mother could help if you'd just apologize for that ridiculous argument. My blood boiled hearing her manipulate him, but I stuck to the plan. But you said Mom was trying to control me. That's why I sent that text. Details. Just smooth things over enough to get the money. We need this investment. Diane stepped closer to me. She's practically hanging herself. The real show started when James announced, Before we continue, I'd like to introduce financial advisor Rachel Morris, who'll explain the tax implications. Veronica's face went pale. Actually, we need to leave. What? Why? Tyler looked confused. I just remembered another appointment. Rachel stepped forward. Veronica, what a coincidence. I was just telling everyone about investment fraud patterns I've encountered. Your experience would be valuable. What experience? Tyler asked. Oh, didn't Veronica tell you about the investment scheme she ran at her last job? Or the one before that? The room went silent as Rachel laid out Veronica's history, complete with documentation that Mark distributed. This is ridiculous! Tyler, we're leaving! Now! Veronica's voice had taken on a shrill quality I'd never heard before. Is it true? Tyler wasn't moving. Did you really do these things? And the credit cards you said you didn't have? These people are trying to come between us. Your mother put them up to this. My mother? I haven't spoken to her in weeks because you convinced me she was trying to control me. Because she was. She never accepted me. That's not true. I finally spoke up. I welcomed you until you started isolating my son. Veronica turned on me, mask completely dropped. You think you're so clever with this little setup. Tyler knows who really cares about him. Yeah, I'm starting to, Tyler said quietly. Mom, can we talk? Alone? No! Veronica shrieked, grabbing his arm. You promised me. You said you'd choose me over her. That's when Tyler finally saw the truth in her eyes. I need some air, he said, pulling away and walking out. I followed him outside, leaving Veronica screaming accusations at everyone in the room. Mom, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. Stop. Just stop. I held up my hand. You made your choice very clear. You chose her. Now live with it. 3 weeks later, Tyler showed up on my doorstep, eyes bloodshot, clothes rumpled. Mom, can we talk? I left her. It's over. I continued gardening without looking up. Congratulations on finally seeing what everyone tried to tell you months ago. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I need you to know how sorry I am. You're sorry now that you've been burned. Where was this insight when you told me you'd rather lose me than her? Inside the kitchen, Tyler broke down. She emptied our joint account, maxed out 3 credit cards in my name. And now you want Mommy to fix it? No, I just miss you. I miss us. There is no us anymore, Tyler. You shattered that with one text message. Diane called with news. I put her on speaker. Veronica tried the same investment scam with Kevin from Tyler's office. He recorded everything and took it to the police. She's being investigated? Tyler asked. For fraud and identity theft. Turn on the local news. We watched Veronica's mugshot fill the screen, followed by interviews with other victims. I had no idea there were others, Tyler whispered. That's exactly what she wanted. Mark arrived with financial recovery paperwork and identity theft resources. Why are you helping me after what I did? Tyler asked. Because unlike you, we don't abandon family when they make mistakes, even colossal, idiotic ones. For weeks, Tyler called daily, showing up with gifts and favorite takeout. You can't buy back my trust, I told him firmly. That's not how this works. Then tell me how it works. I'll do anything. Time, space, respect for my boundaries. I'm not shutting you out forever, but I'm not letting you back in just because you're lonely now. I focused on rebuilding my life. Hiking with Diane, pottery class with Mark, and occasional dinners with James. You seem different, James remarked. Stronger. Turns out standing up for yourself is good for the soul. 6 months later, Tyler invited me to therapy with Dr. Lopez. Your son has been doing significant work, the therapist explained. I'm glad to hear it. But you're still keeping him at arm's length. Because actions have consequences. He chose Veronica over me. That wound doesn't just disappear. Tyler wiped away tears. I miss my mom. I miss who we were too. But that relationship is gone. We might build something new with healthier boundaries, but it will never be the same. On my way home, Mark called. How'd it go? Surprisingly okay. I didn't cave. That's my sis. Remember when we were kids and you'd let anyone walk all over you? Look at you now. I smiled, realizing he was right. The pain would always be there. but I'd found something more valuable than Tyler's approval or Veronica's defeat. I'd found my voice. What would you do if your child told you they'd choose their spouse over you, then came crawling back after discovering they were manipulated? Would you forgive them completely, set firm boundaries like Oakland did, or cut them off entirely? The line between standing up for yourself and holding on to resentment can be blurry. Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story of a mother finding her strength, hit that like button and subscribe for more compelling stories about family drama, toxic relationships, and sweet revenge. New videos every day.